This is just a quick follow on to the last video I did on how to make a stamp brush in Procreate. So I have been creating some nice texture backgrounds and I just want to show you how I've done that. This could well be a thing and could be, you know, other people may have really technical ways of doing this. It's actually something I just stumbled upon and I wasn't even sure that it was possible, so I've tried it, it has worked and I'm very happy and I just wanted to share it. So first of all, you've got to find a texture that you like. I have actually used all sorts of things. I've used denim, a photograph of denim. Just take photos with your camera, with your phone or your camera or whatever, of a nice background that you like. I've used wood grain, grass, all sorts of things, and the one I'm using for this video is a piece of bark from a tree that shed a bit of its bark in the garden a while ago. So obviously I can use both sides of that to get nice texture here, but I'm using this one now. I have already taken a photograph of that, and in Google Photographs I have just resized it so that it's a square, because obviously a square will work a lot better here. You've got the proportions right. If it's a rectangle or whatever, the proportions might not just work right whenever you go to make the brush. So we've taken a photograph, we've edited it, and then saved that photograph to the device. So now you open Procreate, and then you add a new canvas down here. We've got lots of bits and pieces of that bark on there. I should have known that. So we've opened the canvas, and now we're going to open the brush library and add up here. There's a plus sign, and I've actually already made a set here. If you want to make a new group of brushes, just swipe down from the brush library icon and you'll see this plus, and then there's untitled set there. You add that and you can put whatever name you want on yourself, but I've created this set and these are for textures. So having done that, then you'll go to this plus here to make a new brush. Then you will go to the brush studio and open up its shape. Now I've used this circle because that's quite handy. It's a good shape for making this kind of background that I want. And then we'll go to grain. Now the grain source at the minute is blank, and you just tap edit. Then you go to import, and I'm importing a photo, and the photo will be of the bark that I took earlier on out in the garden. So there it is. Open, and that's it into the grain editor. Now I will just save that one, tap it twice, and that inverts it so it's got the right that's what you need to use it now. So we've imported that. I can just use that as a brush as it is, which is very good. You can save that and use that as well, but what I'm going to do here is go to auto repeat, and that will repeat this all over the screen. You can change the grain size just by going here. You've got the large grain back down to the small grain. I like to keep it small like that, but whatever you like. Now you can rotate it depending on whatever your pattern is. If you want it going diagonally, that's it at 25 degrees. But just for simplicity, it can just be straight. Whatever, it's not going to change very much. Mirror overlap you can do if you like, but if you want a more defined edge on it, I tend just to leave it as it is with the border overlap at maximal, and that's that done. So click on done. It's now creating the texture. You just wait a moment or two, and then we'll go down to before we do that, grain. You need to change this grain behavior from moving over to textured, and you'll see this on here. Depending on what your photograph is, you may want to change the brightness and contrast, but for right now I don't really need to do that, but just leave it as it is. Rendering, wet mix, color dynamics and dynamics don't really matter a lot on this type of thing, but you can fiddle about with those and change whatever you like. Go to Apple Pencil next, and this is quite important because you don't really want the opacity of this to change depending on the pressure that you use with your Apple Pencil. And as the default setting is maximum there, you want to change that back down to none, and that's that done. Then you want to go to properties, and you'll want a preview, so that's fine, use preview there. Brush behavior then is the next thing. So at the moment that's set at 100%, and I would change that up to about 650-ish, 652 it's gone to, but 650-ish, and minimum probably about 150. It's at 175, but not to worry. Roughly, you can play about with that a bit, and you don't really need to change anything else here. If you go about brush, then you can go to untitled brush and put a name in, whatever you like to call it. So right now we're going to call that bark, B-A-R-K, enter, done. So now when I come to my canvas, I've got bark. I can go to colour palette and pick a brownish colour. Come here, and this works easier if you just bring this in slightly and then put the brush size right up to the top. Now if you start with your Apple pencil at the top and don't lift it off the pad at all, you've got your repeat pattern right across. And I thought that was pretty good. I was really pleased with that. What I can say is if you change that back and you do a bit and then you do another bit and you try to do more, you're changing the opacity because you're doing different layers. So what you need to remember is when you're trying to do the whole canvas in, say, whatever colour you want, just remember not to lift the brush off, the pencil off the canvas, and you've got your repeat pattern right across, and you can use that as a background for lots of things. Now I might just show you a few others that I've got here. I'll just go on here. I've used a strawberry. Wait, let's see where that is. Here. To create that background, just by taking a photograph of a strawberry. There's the denim. Let me just change that to blue. There you are. What else have we? I actually got all sorts of things. That was rosemary in the garden, and I have done that. You can change the sizes of the brush and the scale of the pattern. There's rosemary again. Actually just show you that on a canvas on its own. So just by changing the size and scale of the pattern, that is actually rosemary, which is the same pattern as, let me see, this one, only on a much bigger scale. See how that the opacity changed there once I put the second layer on? But that's the full thing done there. And I hope you find that simple enough to do, and I hope you like it. It's not rocket science. I actually, as I say, just found it by accident because I've been fiddling about. I love textures. I've been fiddling about taking photographs of lots of things, so you can let me know if you enjoy that. Thank you.